Banjo.exe, along with the now disembodied voice of Chris Lodian in production,
Hello.
and in Tune Us on commentary. I am Mazer Stu, the announcer. Yeah, you just heard him there. This is I can only imagine. This is Steve joining a tennis club and gonna have to fight off. Utopian Ray. So, versus Utopian Ray. Actually, they're both quite familiar with Banjo one way or another. Was actually won a DNA with Banjo in the past, if I am not mistaken, in Tunis.
Has won with Banjo in the past?
I think so.
I didn't even know used to play Banjo.
Yeah, had a Banjo.
I had no idea. I thought he was pretty much just Ness until Steve came around. I was uninformed of that. At the very least, I've never commentated a tournament where I've seen his Banjo. I mean, Utopians I'm completely familiar with. I know this guy has taken many a tournament with his Banjo, of course. Formerly a Palutena player, switching just down a couple of tiers for his happiness and for a character he likes and understands a lot better, but out here with no Enderman in sight. One of the few Steve mains that actually doesn't use that ult. Instead, rocking that tennis one here for you real quick. And I've said this before, whenever is on stream right now as we get to winter semifinals. This character was sort of designed for he's that sort of weird, half set play, half like combo oriented type character that he can just do all semblance of weird stuff with. He kind of a little bit reminiscent of like Salem's playstyle in that sense. He just likes the weird, intricate characters that really you can do a lot of unique stuff with mechanics that are built into them that other characters don't have. So I'm really happy to see playing a character like this, and I've definitely seen what he can do in the past, and very anxious to see what he can do against Utopian Ray, as neither of these stocks have fallen yet from either of these two players, which is not too surprising considering the fact that these characters are generally considered to be quote-unquote campy, as you can see right now, with literally playing Brawl underneath the level, and he's still not losing his first stock for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, though. If I told you that did have a Banjo, would you be necessarily all that surprised, considering their level of potency with this Steve, which is in fact going to take the first stock in this one? Though, looking to follow up, that lat evades the last hit of up smash for a while, but that lasts for all of 3 seconds as we're evened up at 2 stocks apiece, 0%, and yeah, Utopian Ray and on about level terms, stock-wise, if not literally.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, though, for he did in fact prestige before he lost that stock and was able to get that pickaxe gold real quick, so he can actually get some pretty solid damage in before this neutral is reset once again. Only about 83 on the part of though. It's about a 50% differential. You got Utopian Ray in the middle just spamming eggs right there, which is none too surprising, to say the least. Sort of has a little bit of that Pac-Man factor in him, where he can just sort of set up his bases, his walls, and his defenses, except instead of putting, what is, a metaphorical wall down in the fire hydrant, he puts a literal wall down and can actually make a house around himself if he chooses to, in order to mine the materials that he needs. So I'm not at all surprised to see Utopian Ray's main counterplay to that is whenever he does really have center stage, he's just shooting out every egg from pretty much every corner he can, whether it's the neutral B or the down B with the grenade or whatnot. He's just sort of lobbing those out and making sure he doesn't press too many buttons in danger zone, because he knows he can get that diamond out real quick when he needs to because of the camping, and because he's got the projectiles to deal with it.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to drop the anvil on that second stock of Utopian Rays. So here we are, evened up. Small battlefield. Definitely one of those interesting stages for characters where you like to be campy. There's not exactly places to run. It's not like Kalos where you can just kind of hang out and not interact whatsoever on those platforms. You're fighting no matter what, and Utopian Ray certainly showed a willingness to do so, as they really tend to do with every character that they've played, whether it be the Joker that we've seen in the past, certainly the Palutena that we've seen them experiment with. Utopian Ray, pretty much a dedicated, as well, kind of a dedicated DLC main, more or less now, as Ray going with Banjo. Whether or not they stick with this offline would be an interesting thing to see, but nevertheless, pretty effective thus far, as is going to miss their own up smash.
Again?
Ray, yeah, not fighting on it, and good tech by Utopian Ray, and gonna get rewarded with the down air. Right now, well, this is last hit for both characters, more or less. Maybe advantage in favor of Utopian Ray.
Oh my god!
This is nuts. What is going on? Okay. See, that we can understand. That was the bear playing along and winning. Banjo, any thoughts? Fair enough.
That was so awesome. Just up.
Yeah, right through him. Like, no fear whatsoever. You thought they were going for the ledge. Nah, B. Maybe they were, but we're just gonna play like no. You know what? They had something in mind.
Swiggity swoody, coming for Kazooie.
Don't do this.
Slips his way.
I'm one game in.
Oh,
This is game one for me.
that was so funny looking. I'm sorry. I know, like, I burst into laughter a lot whenever I commentate Steve sets. But it's just because this character, there's no other way to describe him. He's so damn funny. Like, the stuff this character actually does in this game. Puts the two, those were stone. Those weren't iron. He puts 2 stone blocks down to ensure he can actually just dig for materials safely in the corner away from UtopianRay. And then when UtopianRay only breaks the bottom one to get out of the corner, he just slides across the ground like the damn Grinch, like a snake just slithering his way down below. It almost worked. Unfortunately, somehow, some way, UtopianRay was prepared for that. You know, the one option that would really have that, you know, the one special that he would have that would auto cross up Banjo on the ground like that. You know, they literally changed that in this game. You can't run through opponents anymore, but you know, you got an up B that lets you slide across the ground like a damn Christmas special.
Yeah. No, it
Doesn't matter.
It looked like that slide up from the ground. Do you remember the one episode of Yu-Gi-Oh with the Labyrinth and Wall Shadow?
Oh man, I only watched Yu-Gi-Oh sporadically growing up, so I don't
Got
think.
it.
Well, I ruined that joke.
No, you know what? Someone got it and someone appreciated it, and I appreciate you for doing so. Either way, we're gonna get right back into this thing, and small battlefield again for game number 2. UtopianRay, obviously wanting to capitalize, but well, they know that was winnable. That was 1 or 2 hits away.
Pretty much. Yeah, I just somehow UtopianRay was prepared for that crazy option, so he knows he was pretty much only one swing away from that. As a result, decided that the anvil down air is going to take the stock. As a result, he decided not to change levels right here, which is very interesting because, you know, oh my god, there you go with the patented Steve combos, trying to set up the wall to ensure that Banjo can't make it back and almost going too deep himself instead. Able to narrowly make it back, as I was going to say. You know, it actually makes sense for him to go to a small stage like this because you figured that Steve would normally prefer large stages, but 1, he might not be able to always get the material he wants on him, and 2, he's also going up against UtopianRay, who's one of the best Banjos to ever do it right now. And Banjo is also another character who very much prefers his space, you know, likes to camp with those eggs, constantly put the grenade out there, control his own space within, what have you. So now that we're on a small stage like Small Battlefield, in the title, my friends, it's just fair game for both of these combatants.
I mean, you know, it's all relative, isn't it, when it comes to these titles? I mean, Big Blue, it's you're really just kind of standing on a really small F-Zero now that you really think about it, but
Yeah.
Or multiples of them, or sometimes the is it the Great Falcon, the name of the ship? Okay, what I don't know, I forgot.
The Blue Falcon?
No, the Blue Falcon is the F-Zero.
Oh, you're talking about like Falcon's like actual ship.
Yeah, you know the one.
No, I know what you're talking about. I think it is the Great Falcon. I think that actually is what it's called. Any F-Zero fans who are already probably pissed as hell in your room right now for obvious reasons. Yeah. I'm sorry if that's wrong.
That's actually me. I just also happen to be a disgrace. Anyway, it's 2 stocks apiece, and UtopianRay, well, kind of hanging on to that last one. To say it's 2 stocks apiece is a little disingenuous, but yeah, 1 hit away. That anvil was probably looking to have it finish it off with that. But yeah, if you can run and jab, that's what you do. You're a Steve man, and now 2 stocks to 1, fully in the lead in this one, trying to get a game back in this best of 3 clip. And could be well on their way to doing so. UtopianRay, though, it's not like they don't have counterplay.
Yeah, honestly, and I love the way that is using these forwarders as well to just keep that advantage going. You see him just mining as the down air anvil is going to take the stock and secure a game 3 for him. I love what was doing in terms of not even edge guarding Banjo, because he doesn't want to get in that space for the Wonder Wing. Instead, just hanging back, mining those materials right there to sort of just bait UtopianRay into coming back onto the stage from high, which he wouldn't normally do against a character like Steve. And as a result, when that happens, just jumping up, popping him up with the forward air. If he doesn't get the spike, whatever, the weak hitbox is strong enough that'll still send him off the level. And if it does, might just kill this Baron Bird right now. Beautiful stuff coming out from with this very unique character, man. We're playing Smash Brothers in the year 2021. It's Banjo-Kazooie versus Minecraft Steve. This is real. This is legitimate. This ain't a fever dream that you're coming up with. I mean, it could be a fever dream as well. It probably was for you at some point in your life, especially if your name's Dila. But it ain't... It's real going on right now. It's Banjo versus the tennis instructor, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very anxious to see where we go for this final game between these two highly skilled Smash players right now. We do get a switch. It's Final Destination 2. What do you think?
Hearing this song on Final Destination is weird.
This is so
this
It's not a statistic. This is a song that's been stuck in our heads for years and years, commentating as many countless Smash 4 sets on the same stage over and over and over again. We finally have it on a different level right now. Nah, Smash 4 music. Out of the 1,000 songs.
Yeah, no, this is like, I don't know. It feels like I'm right back at Bears. Like this was like 60% of the games is listening to this exact song. So I don't know. It's just wild. Either way, yeah, gonna get that hit off of the dirt wall for UtopianRay, who again this Banjo play pretty decent at locking out but has been showing a willingness to get in and pick their spots. Really just kind of using Utopian's Ray aggression against them. That bear charging in like a bull, but is more than content to play the role of Matador here at Intunist.
I love the way that decided to just stay center stage and retain that control, because he knew that the minecart was just going to be doing his work for him. It was heading at just that perfect slow speed where it was going to control space because it still had a hitbox going when it was going out. So he knew that he just wanted to, instead of just rushing in as the aggressor, wanted to stay on stage and cover the one spot that UtopianRay would have actually been able to come back in. And as a result, you see still up in percent, racking on some pretty good damage still in this game at number 3. Now putting out these wood blocks instead to secure that space on the level. Hey, no risk. No risk going down there, my friend. You got the good recovery. What are you going to do?
I mean, we saw what they're going to do. The question is, how does UtopianRay prevent that from happening? And we're going to have to see how that plays out in this next stock. But they got to take this first one first, and indeed they will. Plants him into the ground and pops him on up with the up smash to take that first stock. Yeah, but right now is seeing a decent job of UtopianRay trying to punish Uz approaches, is maybe getting a little too... none of these characters are going to benefit from approaching. I think we know that, but at least has a little bit of a chance to vary how UtopianRay gets in, and maybe a little bit better at narrowing the options, just by the design of the character itself. I'm not really sure what your take on that is, Nintunis, but I feel like platforms would really, really help UtopianRay right about now.
You know, it's interesting because I actually kind of disagree with that a little bit, and I think it's why UtopianRay decided to counterpick to this stage. One of the things that was doing in the last game, of course, is that, especially in that second game, he started camping behind those platforms, and he was able to do so because he put a literal wall in front of him. So UtopianRay's really only real option, if he wanted to just hit him, was to go above on the platforms and then just try to hit from, below him, which is just... Being above your opponent in Smash Brothers is just never a good thing, and all the while, was just sort of garnering materials because he had that little safe space in the corner. Here on Final Destination, with the lack of platforms, Oz not really going to be able to build those walls anymore. He'll be able to just, put those 2 blocks in front of him and sort of set up his space, but now, UtopianRay will just be able to jump up, like, B-reverse a down B in the air, get that egg grenade out there, and as a result, he'll be able to keep the pressure on, despite us camping in the corner. Like, look at that. See what he's doing instead? He's just deciding to sort of build a wall on the left side of the stage off the level, because he knows that's just a more optimal thing for him to do right there, so he can have a fallback. You know what I mean? But before, because of the platforms, he was able to just sort of stay under them and just mine materials for free.
Yeah, but now if Uz trying to get back here, just standing in the middle of nothing, and UtopianRay a little bit perplexed, as are we all, I suppose. Does the snake right back onto the stage? Gotta respect it. You know what? You give the people what they want, and that's nothing if not a man of the people. UtopianRay says, okay, that's enough of that. You can have your little moral victory. I'm going to take the set victory, if you will, by taking you down to your last stop.
Bro, his people definitely needed him. You're telling this man's a man of the people out here, just diving right back down below him, and suddenly one stock away from being sent down to the loser's bracket. He's going to need to mine some pretty good materials if he wants a way to bring this back, because now we have Banjo as the one who gets to sort of just camp it back, show you what he can do. Beautiful timing with the back throw and the egg grenade explosion as well off of it. We got this, whoa, what was that interaction? That was weird. He sort of tripped right there. I'm not sure what move that was, but either way, he's got all the way up to 98 already in a matter of seconds. Gonna down throw him here, try to get the uphill finisher. Nothing doing. Able to mash out and keep that hurt box shifted right back towards the right. This is not looking too good for in this final game, Stu. He's got him off the level now.
Has that bar of gold to potentially use, but whether or not they'll be able to is anyone's guess. Oh yeah, it looks like that crafting table is a mile away, and they might not even get a chance to use it. They have a little bit more iron and a diamond as well. Good usage of the minerals, but UtopianRay, trying to make a comeback here is gotta respect it regardless. Oh man, well shielded.
If he gets him off stage with the minecart, that's literally all he needs, because he'll be able to get that forward air, spike him right down below, keep the pressure on with that jab in the middle, and he's got the diamond, so it's going to be doing that extra shield damage as well. So you know UtopianRay won't be able to react. And that's
no! He got him! That is actually nasty. Got the minecart. UtopianRay is off stage, but above it, and Ray is throwing bombs, trying to make this thing happen, trying to not let this slip away.
A minute left on the clock, Stu. One of these guys, you know neither of them are going to be committing right now with this percentage right now. These guys are just throwing hands, throwing axes, throwing birds, whatever you can. 183 and still living. You know this man is as many mine cards as you possibly can. That is ladies and gentlemen, bringing back that game from the depths of absolute hell against the monster demon known as UtopianRay. Let's take a look at this again right here at the beginning. You see him setting up a wall and this beautiful minecart. That's the thing, you can't always mash out if your percentage is too high, my friends. It's pretty hard to get out of it at that percent, and as a result, UtopianRay not hitting those sticks hard enough to be able to do it. As a result, getting hit by that forward air. There's the classic Banjo confirm. Keeping that pressure on with the jabs. My God.
They were at 135% when the thing started. They were able to absorb just a few more to go along with that. And here was this play with the minecart. Can't mash out of it. Runs right into the dynamite. It was nuts what we just saw. Dude. And then this was the final play of the set. Where they dropped the anvil, throwing out all those options, boiling it down to where UtopianRay had to go. UtopianRay really trying to put into the throes of the bear market. Said, nah, B, that's why I invested in Diamond. And moves on to winner's final in 3 games.